Oh, hello there. I've been asked to do a flip through of my 2018 Nina Ribena's Art Journals and More art journal. So here we go. I'll try and make it reasonably quick. Okay, so way back last January, the prompt was for the month was time. So there's my first ever Nina Ribena prompt. There's another one. All these are for the January prompt of words. That one goes that way. Then we're on to February, which was recycle, reuse, repurpose. So all these things are bits and pieces that I had in my stash just waiting to be used. This one was an interesting one. These were little squares. They were cards that my daughter had at her wedding, which allowed sort of talking points at tables. So I just put those together and painted them and rearranged them as tiles. I enjoyed doing that. More stuff that I had in my stash. Then we made these little books, which obviously I haven't put in here, but I took photos of them. Made these from cereal packets, the cardboard from cereal packets. Really enjoyed doing those. Next thing was the friendship, and the first piece was Nina's 5,000 members. I actually did a canvas, which obviously didn't go in the journal, but I took a photo of it so I could have a record of what I did in the journal. Next thing was another page on friendship. More friendship ones. I really love the cat silhouette, which is a Sweet Poppy stencil. And then we're on to April, which was obviously spring, so there's our spring effort. Chinese spring. It's a nice plum blossom, which I think Nina used cotton buds to make her flowers, but I actually did use a Chinese brush pen for that. More spring, still coming through April. And there was another spring one, and that was done using a cluster of cotton buds tied together. And then this was the 5th week of April, which was using some textured card and using chalk pastels to create a flowery design on there. Right, then we were on to May, and this was our swaps month. So I sent one set of artist trading coins to my partner, but I kept my little cat ones. They've all got some music on the back with the cat in some sort of position. And these are my favourite things out of everything I've done, I think. Really enjoyed doing those, and I also enjoyed doing these ones with cogs which were die cut. That the card was embossed, and then die cuts with gilding waxes over them. I really loved doing those. It's a pity they just have to stay in here, really. Then we've got a postcard and inchies, twinchies and thrinchies. Oh, I don't know if you can see that. And again, ATCs, which some were sent to our partners, and then we did a bouquet tag, and I just made a pocket to put the tags in. I did actually 3 of those. Some of them are in my stash now. Then we went on to June. Dot mandalas. Oh my goodness, did I have trouble with this. I found it really difficult, but in the end I got some half decent stuff, and it was all about the consistency of the paint I found in the end. So this is it's all, I think it was repeat after me, I think the prompt was, and that was a circles one. and then this one was retiform, so I enjoyed doing that actually. Then we had to make a masterboard, so that's actually a photocopy of my actual masterboard, which is A3, well, it's a bit bigger than A3 in size, which I've still got actually. Then we did some altered work, so altered dominoes. So there's my first one. Second one, that was using Pebeo paints. And then that was just using a cut-out picture from a magazine. Some altered puzzle pieces. And altered playing cards. I really love doing these actually. Oh, difficult to get out, that one. Might have to stay in there. There's one. Okay. And then still on the puzzles theme, that was actually a canvas which I did, and made a photocopy of it again to put in here. Again, puzzles, and I decided I would use Rubik's Cube as the little embellishments on there, and the actual words are a puzzle to put together to find out what they say. Okay, I think the next one was probably travel, I'm not sure, but these were pebbles which I painted, all related to India, which actually is where I was born. And the details of these I actually stamped on tissue paper and coloured it in, and then stuck it on to the pebbles. And then another travel scene. Yet again another travel scene. As you can see, I really like India. This was in answer to Nina's lizard that she did, and did it in that lovely mica stuff, but this is gilding flakes. Then we did a poster, and again I had a bigger poster. This was just over A4 in size. So again, that's a photocopy of it in my journal. Then we were on to using alcohol inks and creating a galaxy. This was a tribute to, I think it was Journal Frenzy, the prompt. So my mum died a few weeks before this, so I did this in tribute to my lovely mum. Okay, this was out of our comfort zone, and I don't usually work in black and white, so that was quite an achievement to do something in black and white. Next piece was a collage using all, this is pieces of wrapping paper, lace butterfly and various bits and pieces on the background. White space. I'm not very good at leaving white space. I like to fill the whole page. There's not very much white space on this, but I used real leaves to give the texture of the falling leaves. And then this was the inspired by prompt. This was my this prompt I found really quite hard. This was my Kandinsky one. This is a self-portrait in the style of Frida Kahlo, and this is art in the style of Yvonne Kumba, and another one in the style of Osnat Zadok. Then this was November. We were on to art movements, and this was pointillism. So I did that because it was Remembrance month. But that was also another week that I decided I'd do a watercolour painting for poppies. Then we were on to Fauvism. That was done using a stencil and then adding more lines to it. And this was my attempt at some abstract art. I'm not very good at abstract. And then we're on to the festive season, so I made 3 glittery tags with die cuts. This was the background that we made, and used it in an ATC and a Twinchy. And that was again using a very similar background. And I actually did some cards for my friends like this, exactly the same actually. And then the last one is the end of the year, wishing everybody a happy new year. So there we are. That's my art journal for 2018. That's going to sit in my house and I shall browse through it whenever I feel the need. Thanks for watching. Bye.